Have you ever opened your phone just to check one notification and somehow ended up buying something you never planned to own? Maybe it was a pair of sneakers, a kitchen gadget you'll probably use twice, or a limited edition water bottle that somehow convinced you your life wasn't complete without it. Here's the strange part. Most people think impulse buying is about weak self-control. But psychology tells a very different story. Every time you make an impulsive purchase, there is an invisible battle happening inside your brain. A battle involving dopamine, emotion, attention, social influence, and carefully engineered marketing strategies designed to bypass rational thinking altogether. The shocking truth is that many of your buying decisions aren't really decisions at all. They're reactions. And once you understand why they happen, you'll never look at shopping the same way again. Imagine walking into a grocery store for one carton of milk. 20 minutes later, you're leaving with chips, cookies, scented candles, protein bars, and somehow a tiny cactus. Nobody wakes up planning to make irrational purchases, yet businesses around the world generate billions of dollars every year because they understand one thing better than most consumers: human psychology. Stores aren't simply selling products, they're designing experiences that quietly guide your emotions towards spending. The lighting, music, product placement, pricing, even the smell in the air, none of it is accidental. Every detail is working together to make buying feel natural before your logical brain even catches up. But here's where the story becomes even more fascinating. Your brain actually rewards impulse buying before you own anything. The anticipation itself creates a surge of dopamine, often called the brain's motivation chemical. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine isn't simply the chemical of pleasure. It's the chemical of expectation. Your brain becomes excited by the possibility of getting something new. That's why clicking add to cart sometimes feels almost as satisfying as receiving the package. Companies understand this anticipation loop extremely well. Flash sales, countdown timers, mystery boxes, and exclusive drops all exploit the same neurological shortcut. Now think about this for a second. Have you ever noticed that you're much more likely to shop when you're bored than when you're genuinely busy? That's not a coincidence. Boredom creates a psychological vacuum. Your brain begins searching for stimulation, novelty, and emotional reward. Shopping provides all three. In many cases, people aren't purchasing products. They're purchasing temporary excitement. And the excitement disappears surprisingly fast, which explains why yesterday's exciting purchase becomes today's forgotten object sitting in a drawer. Here's a fun question. If online shopping carts had a tiny therapist sitting inside them asking, "Are you solving a problem or just avoiding one?" how many purchases would instantly disappear? Probably more than we'd like to admit. The next hidden force is emotional regulation. Humans often use spending as a coping mechanism. Feeling stressed? Buy something. Feeling lonely? Buy something. Had a bad day at work? You deserve a reward. Celebrating good news? Reward yourself again. Shopping quietly transforms into emotional self-medication. The product itself isn't the real goal. The emotional shift is. For a brief moment, buying creates the illusion of control, comfort, or achievement. But because the underlying emotion remains unresolved, the cycle repeats itself. This becomes even stronger in the digital world. Social media constantly exposes us to carefully curated lifestyles. You're not simply seeing products, you're seeing identities. Someone isn't just wearing expensive shoes, they're projecting confidence. Someone isn't just driving a luxury car, they're displaying success. Your brain begins connecting products with identity. Instead of asking, "Do I need this?" it unconsciously asks, "Could this help me become that person?" That's an incredibly powerful psychological shift. And here's something most people completely overlook. Algorithms are studying you almost as much as you're studying the products. Every click, every pause, every video you watch, every item you search helps platforms predict what you're emotionally vulnerable to buying next. Sometimes it feels like your phone can read your mind. It can't, but it can recognize your behavioral patterns surprisingly well. That prediction becomes more accurate every single day. Now let's pause for something almost funny. Raise your hand if you've ever gone online to buy one thing and somehow qualified for free shipping by spending another $50. Congratulations. You successfully saved money by spending more money. Retailers absolutely love that sentence. But perhaps the most powerful psychological trigger of all is scarcity. Humans naturally assign greater value to things that appear limited. Only 2 left. Sale ends in 5 minutes. Exclusive members only. Whether the scarcity is genuine or artificial, your brain interprets limited availability as increased importance. Suddenly, waiting feels dangerous. Delaying feels like losing. And fear of missing out quietly overpowers careful thinking. Interestingly, many studies show that people regret missed opportunities more intensely than unnecessary purchases in the short term, making scarcity one of the most effective persuasion tools ever created. Here's where things become slightly uncomfortable. Many purchases are not made because we love the product. They're made because we fear future regret. That tiny emotional difference changes everything. Let's uncover another invisible bias. Decision fatigue. Every day, your brain makes thousands of choices, from what to wear to what emails to answer. As mental energy declines, your ability to resist temptation weakens. That's why late-night shopping is often surprisingly expensive. It's also why checkout pages place add-ons and upgrades right before payment. By that stage, your brain simply wants the decision-making process to end. Adding one more item suddenly feels easier than evaluating whether you actually need it. This leads us to one of the biggest myths surrounding self-control. People often believe disciplined shoppers possess extraordinary willpower. In reality, many simply design environments that reduce temptation. They unsubscribe from promotional emails. They remove saved payment methods. They wait 24 hours before buying non-essential items. They avoid shopping when emotionally overwhelmed. Instead of fighting psychology, they work with it. Think about that for a moment. The strongest people aren't necessarily resisting temptation every day. They're reducing the number of temptations they encounter in the first place. Now, here's the twist that surprises almost everyone. Marketers aren't your enemies. Many incredible products genuinely improve people's lives. The real issue isn't marketing, it's unconscious buying. When you understand the psychological triggers influencing your choices, you regain something incredibly valuable: awareness. And awareness creates freedom. The goal isn't to stop spending money. The goal is making sure your money reflects your priorities instead of your impulses. So next time you're about to click buy now, pause for just 10 seconds and ask yourself 3 simple questions. Do I actually need this? What emotion am I feeling right now? And would I still want this tomorrow? Those 10 seconds can interrupt an automatic habit that has quietly shaped your financial life for years. The most expensive purchase you'll ever make isn't necessarily the biggest one. It's the small impulse repeated hundreds of times without awareness. Those tiny decisions slowly shape your savings, your habits, and even your future. The good news is that once you recognize the hidden psychology behind impulse buying, you're no longer playing the game blindly. You're finally seeing the rules. If this video changed the way you think about spending, take a second to like the video because it helps more people discover practical psychology they can actually use in everyday life. Share it with someone who always says, "I was just browsing," before showing up with 3 new packages. And if you're curious about the Fascinating psychology behind everyday human behavior. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week, we uncover the hidden mental patterns shaping your decisions, so you can understand your mind instead of being controlled by it. Until next time, stay curious, think critically, and remember, the most powerful purchase you'll ever make is choosing awareness over impulse.